How's everybody today? Well, obviously it's a good win for us. It's always good to get a game under your belt. There's a lot of things that we did well today. We made a lot of good plays. A lot of players got lots of experience. That experience also brings a lot of learning opportunities for a lot of guys that are young guys that play in critical positions that have a lot to learn, and we certainly have a lot of things that we can improve on. Defensively, I thought we played, really well today. Offensively, at times we played well, but never really looked crisp and sharp, and turned the ball over, 4 interceptions, balls on the ground 4 more times. We only lost 1 of those, but those are things, turnovers are, critical. We got to do a much, much better job of taking care of the ball, and we need more explosive players on offense. Marquise Mays did a fantastic job today, not only with 8 catches, but also doing a really good job in the kicking game, in the return game. So, we need more guys to step up and be explosive players on offense. We obviously have 2 receivers that we think can be significant contributors that didn't play in a game today. Hopefully we'll have maybe one of those guys to contribute next week, and certainly Hanks will be back after this next game, and I think their knowledge, their experience is going to help us tremendously offensively. But I got to give Kent State a lot of credit. Their guys played hard. They never gave up in a game. I've probably reminisced more about college this week than I have for the last 10 years put together, with all the questions about games that you played and players that you played with, and having some old teammates, come to this game. So it was, kind of proud to be associated with Kent State University and the way they played today, and proud of our team for being able to hang in there and play well enough to get a win, but certainly need to improve on a lot of things that I'm sure are pretty obvious to most people.
Coach, 2 young quarterbacks throwing 2 interceptions apiece. What was the message to them when they came off the field after those passes?
Well, I think that, sometimes there's good interceptions and sometimes there's bad interceptions. A couple of those were bad interceptions because they didn't throw the ball the right place. Some of them weren't so bad interceptions because they're balls that could have been caught that got tipped that, the other team ends up intercepting. So, I think there's good interceptions and bad interceptions, and we had a couple bad ones, and there's a lot to learn from it. One, we should have been throwing the ball hot off the edge, knew that, just didn't trust it and do it, got hit when we threw it. So, those are things that you learn from. And that's, when you play with young players at quarterback, there's a lot of things that can happen. AJ having a little more poise, having played a little bit more, probably played with a little bit more poise today, but we have a lot of confidence in Phillip, and in most cases he plays extremely well. I think he learned a lot out there today, and I think he'll be a very, very good player for us here.
Coach, a couple questions about the offensive line. First, what you thought of Cyrus Kwanjo today?
Well, I'd like to be able to look at the film first. There was nothing glaring that he didn't do. He didn't give up a lot of sacks, made some out calls. They did a lot of pressure from corner cats and, fire zones, and he did a pretty good job of blocking out on them and, doing the right thing. So I think he did a pretty good job today, but I'd like to be able to watch the film before I'm a skill guy. All right, so, I don't spend a whole lot of time watching the offensive line. I'm watching the route runners and the coverage and the quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. And I watch them on the film. So, I can give you a better report on some of those guys.
And secondly, about Barrett Jones playing 3 spots on the offensive line. Obviously, you haven't seen film on that either, but just his ability to get in there and do that.
Well, we've practiced him at all, really. The only place that he hasn't practiced this whole year is where he played for 2 years. He hadn't practiced 1 snap at right guard, and I think that's what he's always played. So we've even played him at right tackle. And I was a little disappointed that we didn't get a few plays of right tackle in. But I really told Vallejos, because we told him, you know, we know that Kellen Williams is the backup center who was injured with a sprained ankle. Didn't think he could play today, thought he would be able to play but couldn't play. So Barrett's kind of the backup center for now. And we told him the series before that you're going to center. Then they muff the punt. Punter muffs the ball, and we get the ball on the 1 yard line. So I grabbed Vallejos when Barrett was already out there to be the center, and I said, if he fumbles this snap, if we don't get the snap here, it's your fault. Because you're supposed to run out there and say, I'm playing center. The coach is not supposed to change the center on the 1 yard line. So Barrett saved him. And Vallejos was actually a little, you know, he was a little scared.
Where is there room for improvement on defense?
Well, they got a lot of room for improvement on defense. We made some mental errors and didn't cover some people at times, didn't make some adjustments, some things that we didn't work on. You know, we weren't challenged like we're going to be challenged with the level of the skill people that we're going to play and the speed that we're going to play. So there's a lot of things we need to do better. We have not played consistently on the line of scrimmage like we need to against good teams when we play good teams down the road. Not that, you know, I don't have all the respect in the world for Kent State, but, you know, even against our own team, sometimes we have not been able to, you know, dominate the line of scrimmage like we need to and like we've done, you know, in some past years. So, you know, we've got a lot of things to work on, and I think that everybody on our team needs to understand that we're not going to play the same team next week that we played last year. You know, it was really hot when we played here last year. We went no huddle. They got tired. I played them for years at Michigan State. They always played better at Penn State than they ever played at Michigan State. So they're going to be a better team this year, and they're going to play better at their place, and we're going to have a huge challenge. And, you know, I'll tell you next week how good we are on defense.
And of the true freshmen that played, who impressed you the most?
The true freshmen that played, I wish you would be more specific and ask specifically, because I don't really. Trey DePriest played and Vinny played, and those two guys played really well on special teams, but they were both really good special teams players. Ha got to play. Cyrus, you know, we talked about him already. Who else played? Who? Pagan. I can't tell you. You know, he didn't do anything terribly bad. Again, I watch those guys on the film. I'm watching to make sure we got them all covered, and do we play the right calls? Do we make the right stack calls? Do we push the mans right and all that? That's my game. So kind of like point guard in basketball.
Coach, you mentioned explosive players on offense, and obviously Trent is a guy with the ability to be that, and really probably not today even though he scored 3 touchdowns. How did you feel Trent played today, and was it blocking? Was it Trent? What was it?
Well, you know, I think Trent played okay today. I don't think he played, you know, as well as he can play. I think that he's going to play better and better. I think Eddie played really well today. Eddie has made tremendous progress and improvement and is a really good player. And, you know, Justin Fowler has come a long ways as a running back. So I think Trent and Eddie will both be good players for us. And Trent didn't have quite the opportunities that Eddie had today, and we didn't do a good job of blocking some of their movement up front. So we never really had a chance on some of the runs. So I don't think he got the opportunities that he should get in the future.
Coach, just 2 penalties for 10 yards. Can you speak to your team's discipline?
Well, we've not had the kind of discipline that I like in the 2 scrimmages that we played in, because we've had a lot more penalties than that. I think you don't, you know, I think you get penalties when you have a lack of focus and mental intensity. I thought that was much better today, something that we really emphasized. So we were pleased with that, but even some of the penalties that we got today were of the undisciplined type, like illegal formation and, you know, that kind of thing.
Coach, you briefly mentioned Eddie, but we kind of saw what he could do today, both running and catching the ball. I wonder if you could expound on how he played today and what he brings to the offense.
Well, you know, Eddie's a fast guy. He's an explosive guy. He's got good size. I think he really understands the offense and has a lot more confidence. I think he kind of showed that last year in the bowl game. We've always felt Eddie was very capable. When he first came here, he had a little issue with ball security. That's gotten a lot better. And, you know, we feel like he should be one of our very, very good players. And he's had a really good fall camp. And I thought he played extremely well today and took advantage of the opportunities that he had.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.